Hey, I'm just kind of going with it and planning tournaments later in the year. I'm still just doing my regular routine. I train hard as it is, just naturally, just for my own mental sanity. I like training twice a day if I can. So yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything extra. I'm just kind of, this is my routine. It has been, you know, and in fact, I need to kind of work on slowing down a little bit sometimes to give my body a break and recover a little bit, take care of myself.
I didn't know you did that. I thought you just went 24/7.
I basically do. You know, drawing at the gym. He's he's my my guy that takes care of my body, my massages and stuff, and he's constantly on me.
Shout out Drawing. Yep.
Yeah, trying to get me into the, you know, to see him, to get my recovery in and take care of myself. But I'm just constantly just so used to go. You know, I laugh a lot that my discipline to not work out and not keep going, my discipline that I need to work on is to slow down, whereas most people need the discipline to keep going, you know? So I got to work on chilling out a little bit.
It's kind of a good problem to have, right?
It is, yeah. But man, I'm wearing myself down, dude. Like,
are you?
Like, feel it? That's when I feel it. I know I'm not getting any younger in my recovery.
Can you describe that a little bit? Is it more of a mental aspect or a body aspect?
Both.
Really?
Yeah, just mentally draining. My body's worn down. My immune system gets shot, so I'll start getting sick. Yeah, so
mentally, what do you do? Like, so I read a lot of books on that, right? Like, if you train or do business, even you have to kind of reflect back, take a step back. What's your routine mentally? You know, body, it could just rest, right? Like you could just take some time off, maybe take a vacation. But mentally, what are you thinking about? Are you reflecting on what you need to do, or how do you get mentally like prepared for another grueling week with your busy schedule?
I think, well, I like to compete out of town so that I don't have to, like ADCC, we just talked about how I have to coach all day and then compete. It's a lot, you know, it's taxes. I like to get out of town so that it's just me and I can focus on myself. I'm still working, but at least I'm having fun. Yeah. And then I think, you know, week to week, you know, on the weekends, I definitely am pretty mindful about just being grateful. You know, I'm always thinking about what I need to do next, how I can become more successful, how I can, you know, whether it's my jiu-jitsu game, whether it's in business, whether it's making more money, being a dad, being a husband, son, whatever it is. But just taking the time to reflect and just be grateful for where I'm at and how, you know, the moment I'm constantly in is what I was hoping for 10, 15 years ago, and I'm there. Just being grateful, it's kind of, you know, rejuvenates me mentally. It's like everything's going good. I'm glad that I'm motivated to continuously do better, but I got to constantly remind myself like things are good and be happy and enjoy the moment, enjoy what's going on right now. You know? Yeah.
I mean, your journey has been a minute. I mean, I've only known you for about 5-6 years or something, or whenever I joined Syndicate. Yeah. And then from at least being an Instagram stalker, is how I do my research on my guest. You know, you were in Cobra Kai, and then all of a sudden you coach Syndicate, and now you're a partner and then running this big program. Yeah. The journey is crazy to see. So my next question is that ever since from the last time that we started talking, what's some of the business aspects and of course jiu-jitsu aspects that has changed? What has evolved you from the last time that we talked? Now I know that was probably, you know, a few months ago and we probably forgot a little bit of detail, but then take me through what you're thinking now about like where your future's headed, how you think about coaching, and just give me the details on that.
Yeah, I would go back to John, you know, Coach John Wood. He's been in business a long time, so I'm constantly picking his brain and figuring out what I need to do better. As far as the business side, I'm reading books. I'm trying to do what I can to deal with people a little bit better. You know,
that's a big one.
That's a huge one. Just dealing with people and managing all the emotions and mindsets and personalities that I have to do, juggling that in a way that's healthy, not only for the business but for myself. Yeah. My goals. The program's doing great, but how can we constantly fine tune and tweak things so that it's evolving and doing better? You know, you never want to get complacent there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those are the things I'm constantly trying to work on, I guess. And as of late, and it's ongoing, but I definitely am leaning on John for a lot of that stuff to kind of walk me through those steps. It's funny, we had this talk recently where, you know, I was such a big control freak with the kids program and the program in general, but the kids program in particular. And I'd have assistant coaches coming in and I'd be so hands-on and I'd be doing everything. I'd basically have them as just eyes and ears in case someone got hurt. And it's not too enticing to keep sticking around as an assistant coach if you're just there as a pair of eyes.
Right.
So I've had to learn to kind of dial back and give more responsibility to the assistant coaches And I'm working through that as well, because there was a point where I kind of let off too much. I was letting them do too much, and things were running a bit wild. So I'm trying to find the balance of managing
leadership,
giving enough responsibility where they feel like their worth is being utilized, but not so much that everyone's getting off track with the overall goal that I see the gym and the program running towards. So I'm constantly doing a little juggling act and finding my balance and trying to find that sweet spot. So
would you say you're a control freak?
I am. Yes, I absolutely am.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm doing a little bit better about it, but I absolutely, if you want something done right, do it yourself. That's how I look at things.
Yeah, that's so true.
If I don't do it myself and things go wrong, I have no one to blame. So, I try to focus on what's in my control, and if I can control everything, then I'm happy, and if not, but again, there's a balance to that, too much of anything isn't good. So I'm trying to find those sweet spots.
The intricacies of like communicating with people are so fascinating, because you have to talk to them in a particular way, right?
Yeah.
Like, how would you describe your style when you talk to, like, say your assistant coach and then things aren't going well? Because I think this is old adage now, where it's more of fear-based. Like, you put the fear in someone, it's like, hey man, you got to do this, you got to do that and that. How would you say your style of managing, like, say just so that people get an inside look of what it takes to run a big ass jiu-jitsu program, like the one at Syndicate? What are some of the leadership things that you've implemented, that you've learned along the way, that now you implement within your employees if things aren't going so well? Yeah, like, how would you go about that?
I think I just talk to them and let them know, like, we're constantly learning. Everything is a skill. Everything's a skill.
Yep.
That you need to develop and get better at.
Agreed.
So communicating with people, managing people, running the program, teaching jujitsu, all these things. I just, I remind them that we're all on the same path. We're all doing the same things. I'm learning with them. I may be a little bit further down the road on this path, but I'm on the same path as you are. And I'm not talking to you from some high horse or place of, I know it all. I'm learning with you. If I can help you avoid some of the issues I've come across, I'll do that. But everything's been going pretty smooth. I'm pretty particular about who I have assisting me with coaching. I don't want to work with anybody that I feel like is going to be a liability, that's not going to add to the overall vision of what I have for the program. So I love everyone, all of my assistant coaches. I got Coach Jay, Coach Zane, Annabelle, Coach Rick. We've got Coach Peyton, little dope 13-year-old competitor. She's been really awesome to, for the kids, for them to see, like, wow, like,
it's nice to have, exactly. It's relatable.
She's relatable. So that's been awesome. We got Coach Josh coming in. I've got so many good coaches, man, that we're all on the same page. We're all willing to make mistakes. We know that there's going to be bumps in the road, and we just we go with the flow while we're trying to fine tune what we're dealing with,
What's your vision in the next few years? You talked about, like, growing the jiu-jitsu program. How are you going to do that? Like, what's your plan? I mean, you don't have to give me the whole rundown, but it's like, what? Maybe this is for me, because I'm trying to grow my own business too. But so that's why I'm, like, learning from you. That's been pretty much, you went in there, just as as the head coach, and then now you have a piece of, the business. And then, I mean, I think that's incredible.
Thank you, bro.
To be a striving entrepreneur myself. Because I like to talk about this. We're talking about this because people don't know how hard it is. Like, there's the coaching jiu-jitsu aspect, but then there's also the business aspect that you have to think about on how you make your money, on how you make your living. So can you tell me your vision, how you're going to go about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. My overall goal, I would love to have a separate building connected to Syndicate, right? Whether it's another room or it's a separate building.
Yeah.
We're in the process. I think John's trying to buy out the building. So if I can get some area where I can fully manage a full jiu-jitsu program, because right now everything's awesome, but I'm limited in the schedule for jiu-jitsu because we got Muay Thai, we got wrestling, we got MMA practice, we got the kids classes.
Is it a space issue?
Just space and then time, right?
Okay.
There's only a certain amount of time slots that I can run a class. So I would love to be able to do a beginner's class. I would love to be able to do a women's only class more than just Saturdays. I would like to do so many different things, a gi and no gi every day.
Yeah.
All these visions I have that we just don't have the time for. So eventually I would like to get our own space where we can just run a full-on jiu-jitsu program out of that place. And then obviously grow the numbers. I would love as many members as possible. We're trying to climb to 1,000 members. We're pretty close. I would like to get that, but then with that, I need help, right? Like classes are already packed.
Of course, yeah.
So kind of developing my assistant coaches along the way to help manage so many people. It's great having 90 people, but when it's just me and my brother running the class, I'll have a couple assistants here and there, but it's a lot of people to run. So more assistant coaches, more help.
What's going on, guys? If you're enjoying this podcast, please don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Only if you're getting value out of it on YouTube and also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to leave a rating and follow. And also, I also write a blog newsletter from what I learned from my incredible guests that I have on. So sign up for the email list and get updates on the podcast.